Good morning and welcome back to Jody Lewis Creations. In today's video, I have no idea what we're doing. I am kind of at a loss because I think I mentioned in the last video, I'm like rearranging and trying to make do with my space, and it's just been craziness. And I was like, I have not filmed, and so I'm finding things in this rearranging process, and I'm like, oh, I haven't played with that in a while, or oh, I've never played with that, so let's play. As you guys know, I'm kind of preparing for the fairy journal, and so I would I don't know, this being black and white, if this is gonna work, but I thought, well, how cool if we could make like maybe a couple belly bands out of this, and even if it doesn't work for the fairy journal, it'll work for something else because it's botanical and I love botanical. So what I'm thinking is, oh, let me back up. Welcome to the new subscribers. Thank you so much for joining me, for subscribing. I really appreciate that. And for my returning supporters, you guys know how much I love and appreciate you. Thank you so much. Slowly we are growing and I'm really excited about it. I do have ideas for content, but I have got to get this organization thing under control. For those of you that are new, I had anticipated switching to a larger room in our house, and due to life, that's not going to happen. Well, actually, due to the fact that the furniture from the room I was going to swap with won't fit in here, I get to stay here. So that's okay. You know, it's okay. I'm just going to make it work, and it's going to be fine. So in the meantime, I am frazzled because I am trying to move things and rearrange things, and it's just kind of, it's not as easy as one would think. Let me just tell you that. That's a little crazy, but that's okay. So this is a roll of receipt tape that I picked up at a yard sale or Goodwill or a thrift store. I have no idea. I've had it for a while, and I thought, it's sitting here, I'm going to use it. So I think if I roughly measured correctly, I should be able to do 2 strips on this one thing of, this is the Tim Holtz, what are these called? The collage paper. I have 2 here. I've got this one with all the flowers, and this one's black and white. And so I just cut it at the repeat. And I thought, well, we'll see what we can do with it. And if I like it, maybe we'll do one with this one as well. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I forget that I have this. It was tucked down in a box, and I really did completely forget that I have it. Like, isn't that ridiculous? So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to use matte medium on this, and the reason why is because I want the top sealed, because I'm planning to do some maybe inking or painting on top of this, I think is my plan. Nope, that's PVA glue. Okay, matte medium, and it's fluid matte medium, and you could use Mod Podge, you could use just watered down white glue, you could use whatever you want. I'm just using this because I need to actually refill the bottle. And it's here, and I don't want to dig for the Mod Podge, which is over in the cabinet, which actually is not a total mess. Oops, because I'd already rearranged that after the retreat with some of the stuff that I had brought home. So I'm not worried about this seam in the middle because I think, like I said, I'm going to use these either as tags or as a belly band. So I don't mind that seam in the middle because I'm just going to cut them anyway. That's kind of my plan anyway. Stop saying anyway. Oh my gosh. So today is the first time that the sun has been out in days. Like, I am like, oh my gosh, the sun is finally shining. I needed it so bad. It's really hard. I mean, I love rainy days. Don't get me wrong. I love rainy days. But I can only take so many in a row. I need sunshine. Desperately need sunshine. So I'm really grateful that it's sunny. But it's like soppy wet outside. I had to go... we catch the water from our sump pump in the basement because it's just groundwater that comes in. And so we catch it and we reuse the water rather than it just running out into the yard. So I have it hooked, I have a hose on trees right now. So I'm going to have to go out and move the hose in a minute. Now this is getting kind of crinkly because it's wet on paper, but I don't mind that. It's a wet medium. You could use glue stick on this. However, saying that, because I do plan to get this wet with paints or inks or whatever it is I decide to do, I don't always find that the glue stick holds up. It can lift. So just be aware of that if that's something that you're going to do. And if you don't mind that, then by all means, I mean, I have been known to take a sanding block to my collage to make it rougher. So, you know, you do what makes you happy and what works for your creative style. There is no right or wrong. And as I always say to you, it is paper. I mean, what do we have in this? A square of collage paper. And like this roll, I paid $2.47 on clearance. This roll, my friend gave me because she didn't use it, but she paid for it. So, but still, I mean, $2.47 for how much? 6 yards. I mean, that's you know, that's a pretty good price. So to just use one square or one repeat of a pattern, if we don't like it, I don't think it's that big of a deal. So anyway, I have to do some sorting. I'm not going to show you guys my mess that's in the guest room again. Let's just say that it's worse than when I had all my Christmas stuff out. But I have all my boxes of paper because we moved a shelf to the attic. Like I said, we're rearranging things. So I have to sort, and I'm going to make a box of scrapbook paper and list it for sale at a very reasonable price, and somebody will get lots of designs and lots of pieces to work with, just not paper that I'm going to use. There's nothing wrong with it. I just am not going to use it. I've either already used designs from it, or it's just stuff that's in my stash that's not my style. And as we all know, our styles change over time, and that's okay. It's allowed to change as we evolve and our skills evolve or our tastes evolve, or maybe you think you really liked something and then you're like, maybe I don't really like that after all. I'm just trying to gently lift this, and the reason is that I want to lay it on this corrugated cardboard because I want to take the heat tool to it and get it drying, so that way we can work on the next step. And I have to figure out what that next step is going to be. So let me get it dried. I have to go move the hose, and then we'll see where we're going to proceed with this. Okay, so this is a little too flimsy, so I'm going to back it with something. And I'm just going to back it to some music paper. It'll add a little bit of stability to it, and I think it will be okay. The thing with that liquid matte medium is it really does go everywhere. So I'm just going to cover the back of this with some glue. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I was out moving that hose, and I was dragging like 150 feet of hose across the yard. Whew. That's all right. I'd rather use that water though than just have it go down over the hill and not get used, you know, when the bushes and stuff can use it. Saves us our water bill by doing that too. And it's natural water. It's not city water. So anyway, whatever. All right. So let's just stick that on there. And I'm not really worried about super perfection as far as being squared or aligned, because again, I plan to use this maybe as tag bases or a belly band or something of the nature. So yeah, hopefully it'll hold and stick. I need to do a little card, I think, and just gently squish it down. I hope everybody's doing well. I know in different regions and different areas, I think, spring has sprung for many but it's just been teasing us here. Like we had a couple days that were super cold after having some really nice days. So I'm like, goodness, could you just make up your mind, please? Because I'm not ready for 90-degree weather by any means, but I am ready for some sunny days and being able to get out and plant flowers. The Amish greenhouse that we like is supposed to open up this weekend. So I have to go get some flowers, but I won't be able to plant them yet. I'll have to baby them still for a couple weeks before I can put them out. Even though the 10-day says we're okay, I don't trust it. I just don't trust it. All right, so now I hope I have a good enough base of glue under that to that music paper. Feels like there might be some air in there, but I'm not sure if that's just the way the paper is buckling. And we're just playing anyway. I mean, you know, this may end up being something that we tear up and use in little pieces. I don't know, you know. I do not know. So, all right, there's that. Now, what do we want to do with it? I did not make that determination while I was out moving the house, because I was busy watching the birds and the big fat squirrel running across the backyard. He was on the sunflower. He was on the bird feeder today, but he couldn't quite get to it. He fell off. So we have it hung on purpose to make it hard for the squirrels to get into the bird seed, but I buy black sunflower seeds for our cardinals that live in the tree. So anyway, all right. So do we want to do inks or do we want to do paint? And I feel like I kind of want to do some, maybe stenciling or something on here too would be fun. So let me kind of look in my stencils and get my texture paste and my gessos and see what I want to do. So I've decided on this stencil because it's got a little bit of a smaller design to it. And my texture paste here, my Deco Art texture paste that's getting low. And I don't want to do necessarily a lot of texture. I just want to add some, just kind of randomly, and see what happens here. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. And you guys know I'm a big proponent of that. Just get your stuff out, see what happens, right? And I know there's some crackle paste somewhere in my stuff. All right, just a little bit here. Just use up what's on my little spatula. And these are just Dollar Tree spatulas. So, or I guess it'd be 125 tree now. All right, so if I cut that in half, that's gonna just be like 2 areas on each one, and I don't want to. I want to have like 3s, just for, you know, the balance. So we'll have to let that dry now. And thinking I want to do maybe some yellows on here. I don't know why I'm in a yellow mood. Maybe because it's bright and sunny. Because I tend to do pink. I know I do purple a lot. Although purple would be really pretty on that too. So, oh, I should have done that on another piece of paper. That's all right. I'll let the parchment dry. And we'll have some texture paste on parchment. How fun is that going to be? Let's set this aside and do it on purpose. See what we can get on our parchment paper today too. Because I can pull pieces of that, you know, and use it in projects. That could be fun, right? Do you stamp off on paper when you're working or mop up your extra inks and paints and stuff? I just think that it's a lot of fun to see what you get when you do stuff like that. I know when I did that birthday collaboration journal for my friend, one of the gals actually wrapped the pieces that she made in this really, really cool brown craft paper that she had basically done this on. She did stenciling and stamping and with texture paste and stuff. It was really, really cool. I liked it a lot. So I thought it was really fun and a great use of our extra product versus wasting, because we all know that our supplies are not cheap. So it's a good way to just use what's on your stuff, you know? I'm still gonna have to wash this, but I got most of it off. Now I'm gonna set this parchment paper aside, and I'll have to get another piece for that to dry, or I can dry it. See, isn't that fun? I think that's gonna be fun. We'll dry it. We'll work on this and see what comes up, what the parchment paper does too. So let me get this dried. So I have some lilac mist and bright yellow. We'll see what we do with these. I don't know how this is gonna work, but we're gonna play with it and see. So, as usual, I don't have enough workspace here, but that's okay. I'm gonna make it work. So I think I just want to, kind of want to do a little bit of yellow and water it down. So you guys have seen me do this a lot. You know where this is gonna be going, right? Let's move some stuff here. I told you I didn't know what I was gonna do when I started this, and I certainly was not prepared for getting paint out. But that's okay, I made room. We'll make it work. This reorganization business, I'm over it. I'm ready to be done. So I just need to get done. Hopefully you can see that. I just want a couple dollops of yellow. I don't want a lot. I'm just gonna water that down pretty good. Pretty well, pretty good, whatever. And then let's mix that around. See what we can get going on here. So anyway, yeah, this reorganization thing is really, you know, we have stuff. I mean, you know, when you do what we do, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we collect and you know, especially when you make journals, because you're pulling from this and you're pulling from that. And I would say, like, if you're a new person, you don't have to have, like, all the things. It doesn't require all the things. The problem is, and it has always been for me, that I absolutely love thrifting and yard selling. And I say, oh, I can flip this. I can resell this. And then, you know, I get home and then I don't have time, or I'm busy and I'm not able to get the things listed that I want to get listed. I mean, I have a whole bunch of things that I need to get listed. I've got, you know, doilies and stuff and napkins and all kinds of stuff that I was going to get listed. And I just need to do it. I just have to take the time. And what it is I cannot stand the tedious process of the photographing everything. It drives me crazy. Just drives me crazy. I need like a person who enjoys doing that to help me with that aspect. Like, just let me do the shopping and discovering, and then you do the computer work, because I don't want to do it. Kind of counterproductive because it's all sitting there, you know. I'm just daubing off extra paint because I don't want it super bright. I just want the illusion of the yellow on there. So I hope that makes sense. I mean, I'm not being ungrateful for the things that I have found. I need to actually share and flip them, which was my intent when I bought some of this stuff. Like, oh, you know, I can do XYZ with that, and I know it's stuff that other people would like as well. I just have to do it. Okay, so that's a little bit of yellow. I need a piece of paper to mop this up. Let's see what this is gonna, ooh, bright yellow. All right. It'll become something, won't it? It definitely will. Okay. Now, let me dry off the yellow, and then I'm going to come in with just a little bit of purple. Hopefully you can see that. I don't want it understated, but I definitely want the colors there. So let me dry this off. I changed my mind on the purple. This is the Dina Wakley Cheddar paint, and I just want just the tiniest little, because this stuff is really cheddary. I don't know if you guys watched when I did the Ranger mystery box, and I was like, oh, it looks like cheese from the packaged macaroni and cheese box, because it's that color. It's really, really cheddary looking. Manufactured cheddar, that's for sure. All right, so let's see what we're gonna get here. Probably not much if I trying to splatter it. Ooh, there we go. And of course, when I splatter, it goes everywhere. Like everywhere. Okay. Do I want to make those run a little? Kind of like it. Maybe we'll just spritz them a little. Just a touch. Just for a little bit of a watery effect. I don't know what I'm doing. This is what I'm telling you guys. Always just get your stuff out and play, right? All right. I have worked on Mini May just a little bit, not very much. I just don't know yet where I'm going with it. And so I will be working on that in an upcoming video. And I really am going to be starting this fairy journal. I just, with all this reorganization stuff I'm doing, I just can't. I mean, this is about the extent of my creativity at the moment, and clearly that is not very well thought out or planned. So please bear with me. I am going to be getting it started. I'm still gathering things too, which is, oh, you know what? I had this here and totally forgot I was going to try to work on it. That's all right. Let me dry this off, and then we need one more color, so I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do a brown or if I'm going to bring in a gold. But some of this is a little too vibrant. But that's the nice thing about working on the sealed background is you can blot. If it's like a little much for you, you can just blot that off. Where if it wasn't sealed, number one, you're not going to get it to move like that. But number two, you can't blot. So, yeah. And I would dry on film, but it's too loud and I haven't quite figured out how to remove sound from bits and fast forward it. Like I said before, I tried that and I sounded like a chipmunk, and you guys don't want to hear that, so sorry, I'm winded again. Had to go turn the water off because I emptied the tank. I changed, and this is burnt umber color. I had to turn the tank off, but anyway, I'm just winded. It'll be all right. It's called being out of shape from not being able to do much because of my back. But I'm going to beat this thing for sure. For sure. All right. That is not what I wanted. It is what I want to do. Just water it down some more. Okay. So I don't know exactly. I'm kind of liking this, and now I'm like, do I want to put this in an art journal as a page versus cutting it up now? I don't know. And that's the thing. When you make pieces, you can do whatever you want with them. It's your work. You can use it how you want. Don't use it how you want. Hang on to it for something else. No rules. Just do what makes you happy, right? So that's a bit much on the brown. But I dabbed off a lot of the cheddar color too. I mean, I'm sure you can tell that I did because I was like, it's really cheddary. So let's just get that kind of moved around a little. And some of those super bright white spots still. Yeah, and just kind of use it, you know, like we might use an ink dauber or something. Oh, I don't have my overhead light on. I hope you guys can see okay. So I'll dry this off, turn that overhead on. And I definitely am going to do some gold splatters and probably some black splatters. But definitely want some gold splatters on here. So let's get some splatters on this piece of paper here. Just move it that way. See what it does. This one was going to be cute, I think, with some stamping on it. Maybe some stenciling, I don't know. But anyway, it's just the starting piece of the receipt tape roll. All right, I hate to do that. I should be using that on another piece of paper, but I'm not. Okay, I'm gonna dry this off. I'm gonna get some gold splatter on it and see where we are after I get that done. I've done gold and black splatters. Hopefully that's gonna reflect and you can see that. But I still think it needs just a little bit more. So I am gonna go ahead and do some white splatters on it. And I wasn't gonna film that because so many of you have seen me talk about splatters and the mess it makes, or the mess I make when I do it. And then I thought, well, you know, there are new subscribers, so maybe somebody doesn't know. I take the tiniest amount of glue. I mean, not glue, gosh, Jody, paint. And you can use paint, you can use your inks. I'm not doing my inks because the inks are water reactive, where the paint is not. Once it's dry, it's there, because I don't, oh, I must have stuck that in the black paint. Don't stick your sprayer in the black paint, guys. It just ruined my white. Oh, how did I manage that? It's like all in the nozzle. I have to take it downstairs and run hot water over it. All right, let's see if I can salvage this. All right, so today's lesson and what not to do. All right, I'm gonna leave that in here. I'm not gonna edit that out. Oh, goodness. All right, so just a drop or two of white, and that's plenty. I mean, because we are watering it down, I'm just adding some water, and just enough water because you want it to be able to come off of your brush. Like if you've got a fan brush, which I don't think that it requires as much water to get it to come off of those, but honestly, I don't know what I'm talking about because I don't own one. But anyway, you just, and I've heard people say if you just do it like this, it goes down instead of everywhere like it does when I do this, because I'm just tapping it with my finger. So I think it's really kind of up to you and how you want to do your art. Considering the state of my table and my desk and everything else right now, I don't mind a couple splatters because I have to clean anyway. And the acrylic will come off of my work surface with a little effort. I mean, it doesn't just immediately come off, but it will come off. So anyway, I'm just gonna wipe that up. I'm gonna get that white dried off, and I think it's actually, that's gonna kind of tie it all together, I hope. It may need more, I don't know, but I like I said, I was doing the splatters, and I thought, well, if you're new or you don't know, that I would go ahead and talk about it a little bit. So yeah. So the white's on there. Hopefully you can see that. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet, because I was gonna cut it in half. Oh, before I go into that, this is the napkin I was using to mop up the extra paint. And, you know, I really like this, and I think that's going to make a really cool piece to do some decoupage with. Glue that to maybe some music paper or something, do some stamping, put some flowers or something on that. I think it'll be really pretty. I'm not worried about that hole. It's not completely dry, but I wanted to show you that you can, oh, I wonder what that is. Wow. A big wide load just went by. I have no idea what that was. It was really cool. Anyway, you can use this, so it's up to you. I have saved like wet wipes that have been really cool colors, and then I end up throwing them away because I don't use them, which is silly. You should, because you can tear them and they give you really cool texture. But anyway, napkins, you know, I use a lot of napkins, so I am going to keep that one. I like the earth tones that it has. As far as this, I'm really, really on the fence with what I want to do with it, because I like it. I like it. And working with the fairy journal, I did pull, this, I'll show you why I pulled the colors that I pulled. Which page was it? This page. And I think it kind of ties nicely to that page. I mean, I have this, oh, sorry. I have the 12 by 12 in this pad too. It's harder to wrestle. So I don't know if I'll use that for this somehow, or like I said, now if I want to decide to use that in an art journal page or something, but none of my art journals are this big. But I do really like it a lot. But this measures, I mean, it could be cut down to 8.5. It could be cut down to 8. You know, it could be cut to any size and be a pocket or a tuck also, because now it's got that stability, except I've got the seam for the receipts, but that's okay. So maybe I'll just set this aside for right now. I mean, because if I went like that and like that, that would give us a couple of pockets, and then the end would give us a tag base. So I kind of like that idea, because this is got writing both directions, So if I did these as pockets, that might be kind of neat. So I'll go ahead and end this video here, and I'm going to put this on the fairy pile because the colors work with the daffodil page, and see how we end up using it. I don't know, but I really like it. So I'm sure that throughout the course of continuing to clean today, I will get inspired by more things that I found. I do have an idea for another video. I have an idea, but I don't know what I'll do with it yet, if I'll film it or not. But anyway, we'll see. Right now I don't have the headspace to get into an entire project right now, but don't worry, it's coming. Thank you for joining me. Get your stuff out and play. Use the things you have. Maybe pick one shelf in your room and clean it and see what you have and see what inspires you and create with it. Why don't you do that and see what you come up with? I mean, I didn't know where this was going when I started. So anyway, thanks for joining me. I hope you're all doing well, and I will see you in the next video. Oh, hubby says I'm going to get in trouble if I don't ask you guys to like and subscribe and hit the bell to try to grow my base. So periodically, you will hear me ask that. So anyway, thanks for joining me. Bye.